Hi, I'm Steve Beyer, Vice President of Sales at Haimer USA, and I'd like to welcome you to East Tech 2023. Real quick overview of Haimer. We're a family-owned company based out of Germany with a U.S. headquarters in Villa Park, Illinois. One thing that's unique about Haimer is everything you see in our booth is 100% made by Haimer, 100% made in Germany. All the products that you see in our booth are used by Haimer in its own manufacturing facility. So we produce all of our product from the standpoint of a manufacturer, making our products very easy to use. Haimer is regarded as the worldwide leader in inductive heat shrink technology. I'd like to show you one of our machines, which is the new i4.0 premium heat shrink machine. And we've designed this to be easy and fast for our operator to be able to use. And we have some unique benefits to our shrink fit machines that nobody else in the industry has. Let me go ahead and scan this tool. We've got our scanner here. I'm going to scan a QR code. Operator is told to put the coil in position 5. Now you can also get this machine with a fully automated coil where you would scan the code and it would automatically adjust. The first thing that's unique about Haimer is we're going to measure, when I press this heating button, we're going to measure that tool, make sure it's the right diameter, and then heat it. Our competitors, no matter what diameter this is on, it's going to throw that energy and potentially overheat the tool. With Haimer, it's impossible to make a mistake. I heat the tool up in about 4 seconds, and I've got plenty of time to put my tool in. I can preset my height. And then my machine tells me exactly where to put the tool to cool it down. Now, we are not cooling by light. That light emitting diode's truly telling you that the tool is warm. That's going to stay red until the tool is cool enough to touch, which means it'll blink red, or when it's room temperature, it's green. Haimer is the only heating system that is monitoring the temperature of the tool and telling the operator when it is cool and ready to go back to the machine. While that's cooling, I can do my next tool. Scan the QR code. Tells the operator put the coil in position 3. Again, you can have an automated version of this. I'll run the heating cycle. And again, we have a predetermined 4-second cycle. I've got plenty of time to put my tool in. I could set the height if I wanted to. And now we'll go ahead and we'll cool this down. Again, we precisely heat the tool to the right temperature. We cool the tool, we measure the temperature. Heat shrink is the only system that gives a shop absolute consistency. Whether you're on the job for an hour or 20 years, everybody changes tools the same. You always have 1/10 run out at 3 times the diameter of the cutter or 3 micron. You can see how it's blinking faster. There you go. And now the tool's ready to go back to the machine. Utilizing our height gauge on this machine, you can actually preset the tools to about plus or minus 10 microns. Most accurate, fastest way to shrink a tool and shrink fit, highest gripping torque, best run out accuracy of any other system. So next let's talk about Haimer's Eco Air i4.0 heat shrink machine. This is another new heat shrink machine from Haimer. A lot of times people think about heat shrink for horizontal machining centers, vertical machining centers, or mill turn machining centers. But we also need to start thinking about using heat shrink in turning applications. Okay? Most of us know that in turning applications, you've got live tools and lathes. Almost 99% of live tools employ ER collet systems. ER collet is great for collapse range and holding a drill, for example, but they're really not designed for milling. You just don't have enough gripping torque to increase your metal removal rates to make parts quickly. So Haimer came out with shrink collets. Looks just like an ER collet, except it expands like a shrink fit holder and then cools and grabs the cutting tool. What we end up with is 3 to 4 times the gripping torque of a standard collet, allowing us to increase our metal removal rates because of that increased gripping torque. But the other thing you need to think about with setups in lathes is setup time. Okay? When you need to change out a cutting tool in a lathe, you're going to have to open up a collet nut, take out a collet and cutter. You need to clean the entire assembly. You now need to put it back together, and in most cases, people preset with a caliper, which is not accurate enough to make a good part. I need to cut the part, a lot of times scrap the part, measure the part, and adjust your offsets. You might be talking 10 minutes of downtime to change one end mill in one live tool. Well, as we all might know, some lathes out there have 3 turrets with up to 36 live tools. You've got a ton of downtime. What if you had a system where you could shrink a cutter and preset it in a shrink collet outside the machine while the lathe is still making you money? Now you can reduce that 10-minute setup time per tool to 1 minute per tool. So let me show you how this works. Scan a QR code on the collet. Tells the operator to put the coil to position 1. Now we'll go ahead and heat up that collet in about 3 seconds. I've got plenty of time to put my cutting tool and drop it into a preset stop. And now we'll cool this down. We again have our TME light emitting diodes physically measuring the temperature of the tool. When this tool is cool enough to touch, the diode will turn green in about 2 minutes, and you can take that collet back to the machine. This machine is also very versatile because I can do standard tooling like what we saw on the other machine. Here we've got an HSK 63A tool. Again, I scanned it, position 4. And again, in 3 or 4 seconds, I've got that tool out, and I've got plenty of time to put my next tool in. Thank you for visiting us here at East Tech 2023. Again, I'm Steve Beyer, Vice President of Sales at Haimer USA. If you have any questions or want to learn more about our product, please visit us at haimer-usa.com. Thank you.